Despite recovering from COVID-19 over 6 months ago, Rahman Tanjilur has kept his ordeal a secret.
Until now, my mother, family, wife, they don't know I have COVID. I am from Bangladesh. I am the one person is earning person. If they know I have COVID, but Bangladesh know many information, what is the COVID, how to get well, that's why they scared too much. My friend do test, come positive. After that, I very scared. Maybe I also positive, but no any symptom. I go hospital on self. After they do test, next morning come result is positive.
When a person is suspected of having COVID-19 infection, the doctor will do a swab test. Usually that will involve taking a sample from either the nasal space or the throat. What we look for in this test is essentially looking for the genetic material of the SARS-CoV-2. If there is infection by SARS-CoV-2, the virus can be found in the upper respiratory tract. Usually, a swab stick collected through the nasal or the throat sampling will be able to pick up these genetic materials.
For now, testing allows us to identify and isolate those who might infect others. But a longer-term treatment solution lies in the development of a vaccine or therapeutic drugs.
Therapeutic intervention is to treat patients who are infected.
These drugs could block viruses from hijacking our cells or mimic the effects of a healthy immune system to help people who can't mount an adequate defense themselves. Most therapeutic drugs that are being used to treat COVID-19 are still in a trial stage.
So in February, we decided that we probably won't have enough patients to really run a proper randomized controlled trial in Singapore. So we decided our strategy is collaboration.
If proven effective, therapeutic drugs can help infected individuals recover. But vaccines are beneficial to those who have never contracted COVID-19 before.
Vaccines are injections that we give to patients to produce antibody to protect someone who is not infected from getting the infection.
They work by training the immune system to recognize and combat pathogens, either viruses or bacteria. To do this, certain molecules from the pathogen must be introduced into the body to trigger an immune response. These molecules are called antigens, and they are present on all viruses and bacteria.
So in general, to move a product, whether it is a drug or a vaccine, from discovery to the end of large phase clinical trial would take on average about 15 to 20 years. Many drugs and vaccines will fail along the way, either for safety reasons or because the product fails to show efficacy. So for this pandemic, what we are seeing is unprecedented in the sense that globally, researchers, governments, pharmaceutical companies, biotech companies are looking at very creative and innovative ways of doing things to try to compress that timeline. In fact, it is unheard of that we can, within a few months of having sequenced the virus, that clinical trials for vaccine can even be initiated. So this is the breakneck speed that we are witnessing.
Even after a vaccine is found, healthcare systems around the world will still have their work cut out for them.
The immediate concern will be the scalability of the vaccine production, how fast and how much can be made available in a very short period of time. In the early stage, I believe there will be a shortage, and therefore there's a need to prioritize who should get the vaccine first. Most likely the people who are at risk, such as frontline workers, healthcare workers, the people who are vulnerable, like the elderly, people with chronic medical conditions who are more likely to suffer severe complications from the disease, will have to be prioritized to receive the vaccine in the initial phase of vaccine rollout.
Before a vaccine arrives, Following safety measures are key to keeping the virus at bay.
I advise how to save, no, not go outside, stay at home, go outside also wear masks, wear goggles, and never touch anything.
Maintaining and monitoring our health levels are also essential. Lots of sunshine, exercise, and a healthy diet keeps immunity up, while clever little monitoring devices like oximeters that measure the saturation of oxygen in your red blood cells help indicate if our bodies are functioning well.
Can we eventually live a life without a mask? It's possible if vaccine works and we are able to vaccinate the population. Otherwise, the best way is really to continue with the mask and adjust our lifestyle. I suspect we can eventually get used to it. You have to change your mindset. You have to just think this is like learning to ride a bicycle or to swim is now a new habit and it's part of your life.
In our next episode, learn more about the part you can play in clinical trials for a COVID-19 vaccine.
Vaccine clinical trials depend a lot on healthy volunteers to step forward to participate in such trials. So healthy volunteers do play a huge role and contribute towards the development of any new vaccines.